Hello, YouTube!
Hi!
We've already been in there.
Yeah, been there, done that.
We went into the Creation Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. Just happened to cross it when we were going to the Dinosaur State Park.
Creation Evidence Museum of Texas. Grows round like other pine trees, this fossil was discovered compressed into this oval shape under more than 20 layers of sedimentary rock. Oh, that is a beautiful fossil.
That's all natural. That's not polished.
Wow, you're kidding.
That natural opal coating is called amylite. And of course the fossil is called ammonite.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
You see?
Our dinosaurs love kids, like eating them.
Because they taste delicious.
I think it's meant to be ambiguous.
Yes.
Oh, this is an actual 3D printer.
Yeah. This is This is the silver silver toad.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Check that out. So that's a dinosaur attacking a Peruvian. This display describes creation in a global flood of ancient scriptural texts. It was written in the 1800s with a quill using iron gall ink. It's called an Ashkenazi scroll. Ashkenazi refers to the medieval Jewish population that come from the Rhine River area in Germany. Whoa. A fossil footprint, Acrocanthosaurus. The original vertebrate print was excavated in the Cretaceous limestone near Squaw Creek, outside of Glen Rose, Texas.
You see this right here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Crossing each other.
That's incredible. This is from here, this area. That's why they have this as the dinosaur. Compression lamination lines show the print to be a genuine human footprint. Creation Evidence Mission in Israel. Oh wow, awesome.
You know, this is one of those places that live here.
Yes, that would be awesome. Look. This display shows the same Cretaceous limestone layers extending through Glen Rose to Jerusalem and Israel. Amazing. I'm not sure what that one was. What was that one? Right? Look at the big sandals and the big feet. What in the world? Living detail of the baby dinosaur handle on Meso. American pottery, 1200. That's funny, because remember we were talking about how small people were? It's like maybe after the dinosaur period, everyone shrank. Maybe people were, because people evidently were around with dinosaurs. Human handprint from Palo Pinto, Texas. Wow. The most ancient Bible versions follow the Textus Receptus. Look at that. That's from Gold King James New Testament, 1834. Wow. Oh yeah, we need to turn it. This display traces scriptures from the 1st century AD through the publication of the King James Bible. Oh, here's a warrior attacking. Look at this warrior attacking a dinosaur. It's an 8th century, another 8th century totem. Do you see it? It looks like a brontosaurus. That's pretty. Those are pretty fossils. come visit our new website.
The only way that can happen is if it happened at the same time, or they're nearly the same time.
Wow. Largest print of its kind ever found. Discovered in mid-1980s in Decatur, Texas.
Notice the dinosaur
Dinosaur mates on Inca burial vessel. Writing dinosaurs. Yeah, it looks bigger.
Until 1981, it was not normal.
One stepped inside the other. This dinosaur had many names: Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Pleurosoleus, Alexisaurus, Sauroposeidon, Proteles.
Dinosaur mouse too?
Oh my god! Oh yeah! Thank you.
You're welcome to do that. I shall be right back. I have to go take care of something.
Sure, sure. Come here and look at these dinosaur bones. We can pick them up and hold them. This is my neck vertebrae. What it looks like today. Yeah. Thank you.
This is our hyperbaric chamber.
Well, I was wondering about that. Yeah, okay.
And what it's going to do, what that's going to do is simulate pre-flow conditions. They know that oxygen, atmospheric pressures, carbon dioxide, all those things were a lot higher than we have them today. They know they've used air bubbles in amber to analyze those things. They know atmospheric magnetic fields were different too. So that's what it looks like inside.
Oh wow, okay.
This is our magnetic field generator, and what we're going to do is have plants, fish, reptiles, and amphibians in it. Now the two white chambers over there in the main lab, those are our control chambers. So whatever sample we have over in our gold chamber, we'll also have a sample over there.
Oh wow. Okay.
That way we can observe any physical changes, chemical or biological changes. So the one here on the far right, the larger of those two chambers, was the original chamber, and it did operate for about 10 years. This one's not operational yet. They did a pressure test on it a number of months ago and warped all the doors inside.
Oh wow.
So they've had to be sent to new engineers to be redesigned. So it'll probably take 6 to 12 months before it becomes operational, because once they install them, then they're going to have to do all the testing all over again.
Wow.
Warp the doors to the chamber?
Inside, because it's got an airlock plus the chamber that the experiments will be taking place in. So the doors in between those are what warped. Now when it does get operational, they'll be live streaming inside, so you can watch the experiments going on in our website.
Oh wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah, we're
Does
excited.
the chamber enjoy violin music?
It does.
We've seen that on there.
I know, people go, what?
I'm sure there's a reason for that.
It's the acoustics inside
Oh,
are
that's
different
amazing.
than they are here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I enjoy them. I wish we had more of them.
Oh wow.
The last project that it had in the big tank was a copperhead snake.
Oh my gosh. And what they do with the copperhead snake though?
Well, they took a sample of its venom when they put it in. They milked the snake.
Cool.
This is what the venom looked like 3 weeks later.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
If you're interested in the pictures, the man at the front desk has copies of them that you can take.
Okay.
We like people showing some of the things we're already showing. I mean, we're
Right.
observing. So the man that took the information afterwards said the enzyme that creates the toxicity in venom had been completely altered, structurally altered. He said that it was no longer a venom, it was a serum. And a serum is beneficial to humans.
Right.
They created it in a lab. This was created in different environmental conditions.
Amazing.
So it's a pressure vessel as well, or just magnetic?
It has all those different conditions. It's like a hyperbaric chamber is today, except our conditions are going to be higher than what the current hyperbaric chamber's on. There'll be higher atmospheric pressure, higher oxygen. All of those conditions are going to be different.
Wow. And it'll factor into the snake venom.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Some of the other
it's going to be a lot more things than that.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I meant. It's several things factoring into altering that from a venom to a serum.
Among other things, we had piranha in there. Piranha grew 4 times larger than they normally grow.
Oh my gosh.
Then one of the other projects we had was a fruit fly, and the fruit fly's life was extended by 3 times in the 2nd generation. You know, the Bible talks about people growing bigger, living longer.
Right.
That applied to the animals as well as it did the human beings.
Oh my goodness.
So those are some of the things we've already shown. So we'll also replicate those kind of experiments in that chamber as well as others. Since the lab is here, so people can see we're actually doing research, and it's transparent to anybody that is looking, if they're willing to accept it.
Right.
If you're interested, the last week of June or the first week of, 4th of July week, we do a dinosaur track dig that's open to the public.
Oh wow.
So you can come and help us look for new dinosaur footprints.
Oh,
this screen right here is showing our dig here in the Biloxi. Last year we found 3 pterodactyl tracks. We found an additional one this year. And then we find, most of what we find are Acrocanthosaurus, which is a carnivorous dinosaur. Although we have lots and lots and lots of footprints, they've only ever excavated 1 skeleton. And Dr. Baugh, our museum director, excavated in 1984. And there's been no other skeletons found since then. But we lease property upstream from that, and that's where we do our dinosaur digs.
That's amazing. And you were going to say you're the capital?
It's the dinosaur capital of Texas.
Wow.
Because we know they didn't exist. Well, they went on the ark. We know that. I mean, they were land animals created on day 5.
Right.
Day 6, just along with the human, Adam and Eve. So they did go on the ark. But the one thing about dinosaurs, relatively speaking, their lungs are very small compared to their body size. So the oxygen went from, right now it's 21%. Back then it was about 25 to 32%. So there was a significant decrease in oxygen.
Wow.
So it would be hard for them to breathe. In my opinion, they had our version of COPD. Just hard to breathe.
Right.
The other project we have going on in here has to do with our dinosaurs. We have collected dinosaurs, excavated them for 27 years in Colorado, which are what these are, these 4 pieces. They're Camarasaurus, which is a long-necked dinosaur. The 2 larger pieces are its pelvis, and then the ones to the left of each of those pieces is a vertebra.
Okay.
Now, most of the time when we get them, they're all broken.
What's the chunks?
Huh?
What are
Rock.
Just piled in around it and stuff. Yeah.
Because we find them in this particular rock, and you can tell the difference, really. Most people are going, maybe.
That's me. I'm just like...
If you look at it, you can see this is more of a darker color than the rock is. That's how we distinguish between the 2.
Okay.
So you could find them, but they're not necessarily in one piece.
Correct.
And then you
Most of them aren't.
Or someone will put them back together.
That's our hope.
Yeah.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually, when we're working on them, we glue them with Elmer's glue.
Okay.
Are they actually bone, or is it just kind of like the, the lumber that turns into fossilized lumber?
Petrified wood?
Petrified wood, yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of our other projects. Most of them, like I said, are like this. We encase them in plaster in the end. Some of ours have weighed close to 1,200 pounds to move.
Wow.
Well, a woman by the name of Mary Schweitzer found, they were working in Montana, she's a paleontologist, and they found, ended up being a T-Rex femur. So it was an area that they couldn't get motorized vehicles in, so they had to carry everything out.
Wow.
It was like a 3-mile walk.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
yes, they didn't want to carry the thing out, so they hired a helicopter. Except the helicopter couldn't carry it out, too heavy for the helicopter.
Wow.
So they cut it in half, and she took some of the material back to the lab to analyze it. She made a mistake in the lab and dissolved the whole rock that she had. But when they analyzed the liquid, turns out they found blood vessels. Now, according to secular science, it doesn't last more than 1 million years. Except she was working on a 68-million-year-old T-Rex.
Wow.
So they're trying to explain another 67 million more years of preservation. Haven't been able to figure that one out yet. Of course, we only believe the Earth to be about 6,000.
Right.
So our time frames are significantly different. But we've only been open since October 1st. So we started cutting our bones looking for the soft tissue too, which is what's on this screen right here behind you, the one that's rotating. If it can, there you go, rotating around. You can see the orange or amber colored material, and as it rotates around, it changes color. That is a medical diagnostic tool for collagen. They do this on humans. In this case, it's a dinosaur. And that collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies. Our bodies are made of proteins.
They do what? Just spin it around to see what's collagen?
The microscope does.
Yeah, and if I'm correct,
No, go ahead.
The characteristics that we're seeing here, the sheen of it is
The color
telling.
change.
It allows them to say this is definitively collagen.
And collagen is one of the things that supports our bones and our tissues, our structure. It's like the scaffolding of our bodies. So a lot of times they do it with humans. In this case, it's a dinosaur.
Wow.
So should it be able to last more million years? According to them, it shouldn't.
Right.
But we're finding it. So
Amazing.
the other thing that we have found have been blood clots. And since we believe the dinosaurs to have died during the flood, you would assume you could find blood clots because one of the indications of blood clots is drowning. And since we think they all died during the flood, or most of them did, you'd be able to find blood clots, which is what we have found in the 9 dinosaurs that we have taken samples from.
Wow.
You're finding that in the bones?
Yes. Because what we do is cut them very thin so that the microscope light can come through them and you can see through the slide. Which is what I was kind of talking about. These, they have soft tissue in them. So technically,
I know, but that's amazing.
you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
That naked eye can't see it.
No. Oh, that is amazing, truly.
But all of the ones that we have, all the ones that are in this case here closest to us are the ones we have taken samples from. And we have found collagen and blood clots in every one of them.
So that would mean that these are actual bones, not just the, like I said, with the petrified wood. It's not they're replaced.
Yeah, it's actual.
Yes.
Actual bones.
And
Yes.
Oh, how long does bone last?
Well,
It probably
we
lasts
think-
longer encased, right?
correct.
Something.
When you get a lot of sediment on it, that's how we get fossilization, if you want to consider it,
Yeah.
except it has soft tissue, so it's not technically fossilized.
Gotcha.
Since we only believe the Earth to be about 6,000 years old, the oldest
Right.
it could be would be 6,000. We think most of them died during the flood, which would be about 4,500 years ago.
okay.
So they should be no older than that because we don't get fossilized bones.
Right.
Not today.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I
welcome.
appreciate you so very much for letting
My
us film
pleasure.
this, and you've been such a wealth of information.
Good.
You've really inspired me to go and do some more research on it.
This is probably
Now, if you're interested in doing research, have you ever heard of ICR?
No, I have not.
Okay. Stands for Institute for Creation Research. They have a museum also in Dallas.
Okay.
It's off of 35 on Royal Lane. And their museum is different. It goes from creation all the way to Jesus' resurrection. But it has a lot of hands-on. And one of the things, they started off in California. And they do research. Theirs is behind the scenes, more or less. And so they have a magazine called Acts and Facts. And it publishes articles on the research they're doing.
Okay.
But since they've been doing this for years, all of the articles that they have published are on archive. So if you have a particular topic you're interested in, say the Ice Age, you can go and look up all of the articles that they have done on that topic.
Wow.
And so that will help with your research if you're interested in doing it.
Yeah. Oh, snake on right is a rattlesnake, Jurassic flood deposit. Look at that.
All covered by sediment real quick while they were still fighting.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So that's what most of this shows, that they were covered really quick. You know, they were still in the middle of doing whatever they were doing. We have a hatchling over here of an Acrocanthosaurus. It was in the process of leaving its shell when it got covered by sediment.
Oh my goodness.
And died in flood.
Poor thing.
No, because it would be an Acrocanthosaurus. That's a carnivorous dinosaur. I'm good with it being that way. I know it's sad. It was a baby.
Right.
But
still, yes.
I don't want it chasing me when it grows up.
No, you're right. You're right. Yep. That's incredible that it's a moment in time just captured forever.
That's what most of this shows. You know, we've got a jellyfish.
Is this like the Egyptian people, like you can scan that and tell what it is, or how?
We actually have a CT scan of this one.
Wow.
And one of it shows that part of the skull structure is in that you can see very evidently.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So this is the tracks.
This is the track. There's a person standing there for scale.
Amazing. This display demonstrates the characters mentioned in the Bible from real people recorded in history. Archaeology confirms 50 real people in the Bible. And I would read these, but we are on a time crunch. Oh wow, this is from the Jewish Holocaust.
Yep.
The dinosaur. Jurassic Park. Ark Relica is 25 foot, 1/20th scale reproduction of the original Ark, which was 500 plus foot long. The Ark's door was possibly hinged at top. Wow.
I think we're all going.
Reservoir. That's what I thought it was.
Oh my goodness. So you said you knew that was a freshwater?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can tell by looking at it up here that it's a well, and they pull the bucket up and they pour the water in here and go down to their little bamboo pipes. See? This one would fill up and then go to this one, that would fill up, and it would flow over.
And just keep filling up, yeah.
But it's got big pipes. That's the R1. The next one, and the other one goes downstairs. So basically, as they're pouring the water out of this bucket, see that bucket? They have to see that pouring it. This was the reservoir. So that means, what I'm saying is, this is not scaled very well, because if this was, well, what I'm saying is, if this was the freshwater reservoir, right, and you dipped it out in this size of container,
Right.
it would only last 10 days worth, because of each one of these. So it's a good representation. It's just
Not
what it needs.
100% to scale.
But it's still awesome stuff.
It is. Wow. I mean, the living quarters, I would too. Oh, and look underneath. So it's several stories tall.
I think it's cool too how they made this. Somebody had put a lot of effort into
They
this.
did. What love they had. They did. Yeah, look at where it was joined together. Is that been topped off, or is that nails, or like wooden nails? Because why wouldn't they use why wouldn't you use that same color wood? Look
Because
at
they
the
want you to
T-Rex.
see that and go, oh, is that how it's put together?
Well, they fooled me. So they had to keep those T-Rexes and everything separated as well.
Well, clearly not, because these were where they could theoretically go through.
I bet they had some way of closing it up. Snake.
See, this is a good example of some of that. See these oats in there? Grain.
Right.
They can't have a proper scale.
Right.
Because it's.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Right.
Well, you could, but you wouldn't.
No, they're supposed to be Luna's ancestors.
Aww.
There's another
And
one.
there's bunnies and birds.
Why would they have that dog in it?
There's another freshwater reservoir.
Also,
Liquid cone dippers. Okay. Did you see this? This is a different way of looking at it as well. Illustrates the creative ability of man to design whatever is necessary to move him from place to place. Yes.
So, what did you think of the museum?
Oh, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because not only is it a museum, it is an actual working lab.
Yeah.
They are studying dinosaur fossils, and
And I guess
incredible.
they've got a ready supply of the fossils, or prints at least, near here that they can go gather every year.
Yeah.
So,
So unless you didn't watch it, then you, if you didn't watch our video, you wouldn't know that there was a lab in there. But they would know that there's a lab. So
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, the lab, they just opened it up in October, which, you know, you probably heard all that. So.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Just
it's
incredible.
hot outside, so we're going to cut this a little short.
Yeah,
But
it was
it is-
incredible. It was wonderful. You support it if you can.
Yeah,
You're probably
worth
going
a
to be
stop.
hearing some things come from this particular lab in the future. Some of their
Yeah,
research
they said
findings.
they said they're gonna publish, but
Yeah,
I think
some
we
of
got
their
that on
findings
video
are-
too. So,
Amazing. Yeah. So
well, thank you for watching, and we will see you again next week.
stay cool.